Have a lot.
No, no,
You're fine. Take your time.
Psych ed. Oh no.
Okay.
All right, TM Warrior fans, Lady Cherokee fans, welcome to Podcast Wednesday. This is the day where we do multiple podcasts. At least I do multiple podcasts. And so it's 4 o'clock, and that means it's time to switch over from football and talk volleyball. And we're going to talk Toloso Midway Lady Cherokees volleyball. And on the screen, you see we got the head coach there for the Lady Cherokees, Coach Shelby Chapa. Coach, how you doing this afternoon?
We're doing good. We're doing good. We're here and we're ready to play. We're excited for that.
Absolutely. And then she's got two of her players here, captains. To the left of your screen, I believe, is Melanee Garcia. Mel, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm glad you're back, and we'll talk a little bit about when you got back. We definitely missed you on the court, that's for sure. And then to the right, we have Bella Garcia, another captain. Bella, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited.
All right. Thank you, coach and ladies, for coming on and spending some time here with us on the podcast. And so didn't know the ladies are going to come on, so I'm just going to kind of go and have questions for you, like on the fly, like they say, right? I'll just, whatever pops into my head. Definitely, because I don't have anything.
They're ready for it.
But Coach, to get started here, congratulations, first of all, to you and to the ladies here and to the Lady Cherokees as they made the playoffs. Obviously, they got into the playoffs. They played their first round of playoffs last night and got a win, I believe, over, who was it, Coach? Valley View?
Yes, sir.
Valley View, and we're going to definitely recap that game. But now they will go into the second round. I didn't know this, but it doesn't go into next week like football. They're going back on the road, I think, tomorrow, and we'll talk to Coach and the girls about the opponent and who they'll be playing in the second round. But Coach, want to recap first these last couple of games. We weren't on last week, but you did play GP. It was kind of like a little game, a test. It wasn't district or anything. What did you see from your team? Obviously, we didn't get the W like we wanted, but what did you see from your team versus Gregory Portland?
I think we really just worked to just. I think the biggest thing we saw is they played relaxed, which was a plus and a negative. I think it's hard going into a match. It's kind of like a warm up match that not that it doesn't mean anything, but it's like, okay, it's just like a practice. So I think there was a lot of really good things. We got an opportunity to just kind of try a couple different lineups. Still trying to, see who's going to be more effective offensively where. And I think that was the biggest thing, is just kind of getting another opportunity in a game environment to see the different combinations of kids on the front row, connecting with different setters. So I think that was just a really good opportunity for us to play them. I mean, they're a solid team. They're, going to play in their second round of playoffs. They ended up falling in Division II in the 5A and 5A. So that's, they're a solid team that has, they're young like us. So to get to kind of compete with them, they're a lot like us. They have some seniors on their team who contribute, and then they have a handful of freshmen that carry a lot of the weight as well. So I think it was a good matchup, and it was a good opportunity to kind of just work through any of the kinks we had to get those last little looks in an environment that there wasn't a lot of pressure per se.
And I guess it's better to play and just sit around and wait for the playoff game, right? Continue to stay.
For sure.
Obviously, it helps out.
Everybody in their routine. It helps us, keep that Tuesday, Friday kind of routine of having a game and, doing all that.
Absolutely. And then they played their first game, first round playoff, Valley View, and Toloso Midway got the win 3-0, set 1, 25-15. TM got that one, set 2, 25-10, the Lady Cherokees, and then set 3, 25-10 TM. Coach, talk a little bit about what you saw from girls, because this was total domination, I believe, from start to end.
Yeah, I think really the girls played really well. I think, when we play, and we talked, talked to the caller last night about it, when we play in our home gym, there's just an extra level of excitedness and some nerves. Like, obviously it's your home environment, you want to win in your gym. Somebody else is coming in. And then at this level where it's like you win and you're done, you win and you go on, and you lose and you're done. So I think it was really, we kind of came out a little nervous to begin with. I think we just had those kind of just like that adrenaline that we just had to kind of get under control. But we took care of the first set. The second set, we got a little rocky in there, but the girls really focused. We took a timeout and we focused on just kind of refocusing. And then they took care of it, and they ran. I think we went on like a 6 or 7 point run to finish the match. So I think really they played well overall. I think the Valley View came out just scrappy defensively. They were a hard team to score offensively on, because their defense is set up so different than anything that we see. So it's really similar to like a Zapata or a Laredo Harmony that we play in district. So I think, we had to work extra hard to kind of terminate and put that ball away in some situations. But overall, they played well, and it was exciting to get an opportunity in the playoffs to play at home. That's not very common. So it was fun to get to do.
Awesome. And then I'd like to get the ladies' thoughts. Mel, I'll go to you first. Just your thoughts. Are you back? Are you playing already? So you were able to play in this game?
Yes, I came back maybe the middle half of the second part of district. So this was maybe like my 4th game back. I think we did pretty good. We did get a little shaky in the second set, but we did pull through. Like Coach Chapa said, with the 6-7 point run that we had, that really, really helped us. And so did that timeout. So I think we regrouped and we finished it out in our last game ever in this gym. So
yeah, awesome. And how are you feeling? You feeling 100%?
yeah.
All right.
Before games, I get my leg wrapped, or my hamstring wrapped, and it gives it support. It is sore after games, but that's normal. That's how it's gonna be. And I take my salt baths, and I'm good the next day.
There you go.
Pull out and I'm good.
Get it on the court. Well, I guarantee you, I'm sure Coach and the players and the team fan, they're happy to have you back. I was telling Coach, I would tell myself, maybe I shouldn't ask this week, because I keep asking, because I wanted to know when you were going to come back. I know just what a big part of the team you are, and when you're not there, and as a senior and been there, right, they miss you. I mean, there's another person. It's the next lady, next man up. But when you don't have that captain there, you miss, right? And so I was just, when's she going to come back? When's she going to come back? But now I'm glad, as I saw you, that you're back. Obviously, that's great, and just in time, right, for to end the season and into the playoffs. Bill, I'll ask you, Bella, what was it like? Talk to us a little bit about the playoff win.
Oh, yesterday, yes. I wasn't sure where we were gonna jump from. Yesterday was really exciting. It's kind of a surreal feeling, I think, because as you know, like the seniors this is the last from my beginning. Like they were sophomores when I was freshman, and it's a lot of pressure, not such as just being playoffs, but you want to continue going on, and I could feel that in the way we played last night. We don't want it to be over, and we especially don't want to have to say goodbye yet. And it just feels it just feels a bit surreal, and it's fun, and we really are getting to see it from a different light. And it really showed when we played GP, because we realized like our next game could be our last one.
Yeah, that's what happens to get to the playoffs, and for the seniors, right? For everyone, really, for the team, it's emotional, because in the back of your mind, I would imagine, right? You obviously you want to continue playing, but you also know, like Mel said, this is the last time I'm going to play in this gym, right? Like I put so much time, the seniors, so much effort, so it's there's a lot of emotions that go through your mind while you're playing the game, but understanding I'm never going to be. I remember, and it's hard, right? So I was glad that you guys were able to get that win. They will go into the second round now tomorrow. They will be playing Calhoun, and we'll talk a little bit about that game with Coach and the ladies. But Coach, how has practice been going so far? I mean, so the routine is you practice, you got a game, you practice, and you got a game. So you get one day of practice to get ready for Calhoun, although that is a team that you have played. You ladies and Coach know Calhoun very, very well. But Coach, how do you prepare for the playoff? Is it the same way like you prepared when you were going to play them to the regular season, or is there a different setting in practice?
I mean, I think it's a mix of both. I think it's also trying to not spend too much time focusing on the fact like, hey, this could be your last game if you don't do this, we're going to be turning in our jerseys the next day, type of conversations. But I think it's a more like, we try and keep it light. Like obviously we came off of a game last night, and we had those are just good quality reps in a game setting. So this morning coming in, it was just, sticking to our routine, doing what we know, not changing too much, not trying to do too much, but also keep it light and fun. So we still have that energy and that we're still going into it, excited and ready to go. So I think it's just a mix of, kind of having that, like you said, it's kind of the back of your mind a little bit, like, hey, we could, potentially, this could be our last practice. But also, really just playing and having fun and enjoying these last moments together because, like it could be over as quick as, we started. And that's just the crazy part of this part of the year. It's just everything, there's a little just bit more on the line. So I think the routine is just still come in, focus on the things we know, and then just treat them like any other opponent. We just got to go out and play. Volleyball doesn't change because there's a team that we've played multiple times or whoever it is on the other side.
It's amazing you talk about emotion, right? Because we're there. It's in your head no matter how much you do. But for you, coach, talk a little bit about this toward the end in the playoffs, because like we talk about the ladies, right, and how they got to play, you got to coach, but also they're like your girls, right? You've known them for a couple of years. They're like your daughters, right? So how has it been for you through this time where how do you handle it and say, look, I know too, this could be the very last time I see them on the court, right?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like, because I am a super emotional person, it's like try not to think about it. Yeah, it's like try not to think about it until it's here, because if not, like, I don't want my emotions to like be so overcoming that they go onto the girls. So it's just really trying to like think about it but not think about it, kind of like these girls have, like, I've seen them grow up, and I think if I allow myself to have a moment to like really, really dwell on it, it'll become super emotional. So, I mean, I don't want to like even like talking about it like right now is honestly like the first time I've really like sat and like, really thought about it.
Yeah,
Yes,
me too.
because it's just kind of one of those things that like if we ignore it long enough, we'll eventually get there, and then we can just kind of let all those emotions come out. But it is definitely something that's that I don't take for granted, getting the privilege to get to, be a part of their lives for so long, and get to see them, grow up and become these great young ladies. So especially for these seniors, these last couple, practices are like, you guys have been here, you've done this, you know what to do. It's just putting all these pieces together and just, continuing to play for each other and continuing, underclassmen play for these girls who are, potentially putting on the jersey for the last time. So I think, it's definitely like, it could be an emotional day tomorrow, but I think we'll not let it get to that until we absolutely have to. So hopefully it's like later in next week that we're worried about that.
Well, I'm sorry, coaching ladies, that I brought that up.
No, it's okay.
Because we got to go win a game, man. I want you girls ready. I want coach ready for, because I want to go win.
It's like the elephant in the room. We all know it's there. We just, ignore it. Like, yeah.
And you guys will have that time, right? You know what I think, honestly, before we go on to the next question is, coach, it's really great to see, really from an outsider that doesn't know anything about the program, to hear the podcasting, and it's like it's a family over there, right? And everyone has so much respect for each other, and it goes far beyond the court. A lot of teams say they have that, some do, some don't, but that bond over there, coach, that you have with these ladies, it's strong. You can see it in the podcast. I'm sure people go, and that's a beautiful thing to have. At the end, it's very emotional, obviously, but it's great to have it. And so that's great. But look, we've got to go play a game right now. So with all that, we'll do that next week. Let's go win tomorrow. Before we get to the playoff game, coach, talk a little bit about the other levels. And so I'm not sure if the season is already over for them, but if it is, just give us your thoughts, even going down to middle school. What did you see from them, and what kind of growth did you see from the other levels of volleyball there at TM?
Yeah, I think really at all levels. So our middle school program, our sub-varsity levels, We saw a lot of growth. We were really heavy on the freshmen in our program. So they're like the crazy wild children that like we're having to all these upperclassmen and girls who have more experience are trying to rein in. So I think at the end of the day, we did see a ton of growth from all of them. I think, from the point they started to the point they finished, I think they had tremendous growth, just understanding how we do things in our program, understanding just growing as individuals and people. Even at the volleyball level, I think there was a lot of growth to be had from everybody. I don't think there was a single person that started and didn't finish at a higher level than they started. So I think that's just a positive. They had their struggles with wins and losses, but I think that just really attributes to the youngness in our program. Like the freshmen probably take up about 80% of our program. So I mean, it's a great problem to have because it just means like we have a ton of future coming in. So I think they did a really good job of kind of falling in line. I know at the beginning everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, these freshmen," and then at the end they're like, "They're not here anymore." And we're kind of like, "Where are the freshmen?" We're like, "Where are they? We kind of miss them. We do miss them." So it was fun, and it was a lot of fun to get to know them coming in because we don't know how they're going to be and how they're going to act. So they did a really great job of keys. Her keys are stuck. Of kind of just coming in and learning and growing. So we're really proud of them. Same with our middle school level. They grew, they finished, they had a pretty tough middle school schedule. So I'm excited for the future, what's to come. We have a pretty good 7th and 8th grade team. So I think, in the next coming years, if we can just, continue to retain and grow, the future for our program looks really good.
Absolutely. Ladies, I'll ask you for the middle school and younger girls, right? That will watch this program or some of the high school girls that kind of think about, I want to get into volleyball, but then I don't. Bella, I'll go to you first. What would you say to them? What would you say to the younger girls about this program? You've been in this program now for 3 years, right? You know the work that it takes. What would be your message to them if they wanted to come play volleyball? I mean, how great is it to play volleyball at Toloso Midway?
Personally, Toloso and volleyball in general has been something that I've known for my whole life, and I can't remember a time that I didn't. And I think that if I were to speak to someone that wanted to play for our program, I think that TM program would be the place to go. Mainly just because we're so family oriented and we're so tight, like such as our bond. We don't, it's not like anything like pointing out or like, oh my gosh, you can't do anything right. Like we all understand we're gonna have good days and we all understand we're gonna have bad. And with that being said, there's so much growth within that. And someone that like takes volleyball very seriously as well. I've never lost my sport. Never lost my love for the sport within this program, and I think that means a lot, and that shows a lot through TM.
And I think they learn, right? You're learning. I think that's important. I mean, winning is important. I mean, anytime I played, I played to win. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I didn't go practice all week not to win. I wanted to win, and I wasn't happy when I lost. I was a good sportsman, a ship, right? But I wanted to win. People, I remember when I was a kid, people, parents, I was just a game. Not to me. Like I want to go get the W. Like I want to get as many W's as I can. But it's growing too. That growth gets lost in that win, right? You got to get better every practice, get better. And I think that's another thing that Toloso Midway offers there to the kids that want to move in or thinking about, hey, I want to go play for a school, and you're choosing this is a good school to go to because you're going to learn. And it's one of the schools I've told you guys before that I think the program has been good for so long around. Volleyball, it plays during football season. So everything goes to football, right? It's very rare. And there in Toloso Midway, the fan base for volleyball is amazing. You don't get that in other schools. It's really good. And it's been like that for quite some time. It didn't just start like 3-4 years ago. So it's really good. Mel, I'd ask you if you had to tell somebody, if someone's asking or you're talking to somebody, why should they come to Toloso Midway? What's so good about Toloso Midway, the program there, the volleyball program?
I would say to come because, like Bella said, we are very family oriented and we're all like sisters, and it's
That's
very
like the perfect word for it.
we're all like sisters. And coming in 6 a.m. practice, I'm just gonna say her name, Haley. Sometimes she's like either really, really happy at 6 a.m. practice, she's like, nobody talked to me. And we all like we all know good days, bad days, like when to not say something, we know when to say something. And our program is very what word would I use? Like word fella. It's very like, I don't know what the word is, but we know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And we know what's right, what's wrong. And TM's is a great place to be at. Honestly, the school, when it comes to staff, when it comes to coaches, they all care about us and who we are and what we want for our future. And I would say TM volleyball program is just like that. They want what's best for us and our futures, and we want to win too. So yeah.
Yeah, well, traditions there, like I said, it's been there for quite some time, and it continues. I had the superintendent Steve Van Matry on the podcast. We do the podcast with Coach Viriel before his first time, and man, he's an awesome guy to talk to. I mean, you guys see him every day. I just met him for the first time, but he's real down to earth. He loves sports. He talked about, if you haven't seen the podcast, when you get a chance, he talked about sports, but he talked about building, what's coming, what his role and responsibility, safety, and all of this stuff, and the work that goes into not just him, but all of his group, right, to make sure that the students there at Toloso Midway get the best. So you're very lucky to go to school there. You're very lucky to have a community. And I've been out there a couple of times. It's a beautiful place. I got a tour of the baseball field, the softball. I've been inside the gym. That gym's a little older because I played basketball there when I was in school in Rockport. But it was beautiful then. I'm sure it's like that now. But the facilities are just great out there. Just taking me down there, the football field. So you guys have a great thing going at Toloso Midway. And definitely, if you're looking to play volleyball, right? Not recruiting, but man, why not pick Toloso Midway? I mean, it's a great place to play, and you guys got a tradition of winning for many years. Bill, I'll ask you. I'm going to ask you to talk. Haley was the one that came out, right? That's the one that you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, she's the one that you guys told me. She'll just tell you the way it is, and doesn't matter if you're like, well, you gotta have those type of players, right? You gotta have that. So it's really good. What was that, Bill?
I said, if you want a firecracker, you got Haley.
There you go. You gotta have those. But you were able, because you got Mel next to you. What was it like? You guys have played together for so long. What was it like to have her as a teammate?
Oh wow. Oh, that's an insane question to ask right now. That is so insane. I'm gonna have to end this live. But no, okay. To have Mel as a teammate. Whoa.
All good things.
Whoa. To have Mel as a teammate. That's wow. It's like I played with Mel longer than people may actually know. Like I met Mel when she was playing libero with a neon jersey on. But to have Mel as a teammate is to have a friend, to have a sister, but also to have someone that can hold your hand, but she's also going to tell you, and she's going to be honest. Mel, she's very, I don't want to say emotional and like it be like,
I'm emotional,
but she's emotional in the sense of like she cares. She cares about what you want as a person, and she's going to help you get to that goal if that's what you want. But at the same time, you also have to know, like, Mel's also respect for respect, very much. But I've grown up with Mel. I've grown up to see her as a person. I've gone through a lot of her phases. She's gone through a lot of mine. But to have Mel as a teammate, I would say, is to have a friend.
Awesome. And the only reason I'm asking is because I want to have it on the podcast, because this is something that stays on a Tribe Sports Network. And I think it's good. We never take it down unless I'm told to take it down. So you guys can take a look at this 3-4 years from now and go back to the network and remember, because I think it's good to show that, because like I said, I think the chemistry is more than just volleyball players. There's something special over there with you guys. And I definitely tapped into that when you got girls came on, and I heard the passion that you guys have putting on that jersey and playing for Toledo Midway. Mel, I definitely don't want to make you cry, and I hope I don't, but I'm going to ask you the same thing for Belle. You guys have played, you're the leaders of this team, right? And so what's it been like? You guys have been playing, you grew up there in the gym, and you probably spend more time with her than you do if you have any sisters or family, right? You're always together. What was it like to have Belle as a teammate coming up right behind you?
So like Bella said, we did first start playing with each other when I was in that neon orange libero jersey, and us both having our little buck teeth, you know, being what 9 and 10 years old, 9 and 10 years old, and you know, Bella really is like the sister I never had because I grew up with two brothers and she grew up with two brothers and a sister, but I never had a sister figure, and she was like my little sister, and she still is, and you know, whenever like we score a point, she's the first person I look at because like she's Bella, and you know where Garcia is. Give me a high five. And yeah, she really is like my sister, and I will forever be grateful for her because she showed me how to respect myself, how to respect other people, and she tells me how it is. And even though whenever I think I'm the most right person in the entire world, she will tell me I am wrong in so many different ways, but it's the best way she can tell me in the nicest way possible. But she is also my little poet, and she's amazing, and I love her so much, and I'll forever be grateful for her.
Awesome. Coach, it's great that you have these players, right? Because before they speak, they think about making sure that it comes out in a way that it doesn't hurt feelings. And I think that's great. So many times kids today just kind of say what they feel, emotions go, right? And then later on, God, I'm sorry. It's great to hear that you guys try to say whatever you got to get out. You try to say it in a way that is not going to be offensive to the teammates. So you got some great players there, Coach, but we already knew that coming in. I'm going to wait to tell Coach next week when she comes on, because we're going to have her on regardless of what happens. And maybe it'll be a little easier for her to talk about you guys when you're not around. Unless Coach wants to do that now. Coach, it's up to you. You want to do it next week or you want to do it now? Because I don't want you guys to get emotional. It's up to you.
We're already getting there.
I know we're already here.
Well, then let's just go ahead and go with it, Coach. You want to do it next week or you want to do it? Because you got a game tomorrow.
Talk about them now. They're here. I want them to hear it in person and see it and, you know, have it to look back on, like you said.
Absolutely. All right, Coach. You got the floor.
All right.
Go for it.
I think, yeah, we can't make eye contact with either of these girls. I mean, I think both of these girls are, I mean, I could brag about these girls endlessly. And like a small fraction of that would be about what they do in the volleyball gym. The majority of it is just who these guys are as athletes to get to coach. Like they allow me to coach them hard, to hold them accountable, to be tough on them, but they never take it personally, or they think it's coming from a place that isn't out of 100% care for who they are and the athletes that they are. I have two little girls that I absolutely adore, two young daughters. And if my girls grew up to be half of the girls that these two are, the teammates and the friends they are to each other and to their peers on and off the court, I would be incredibly honored and blessed for that. Because I think these girls, they lead with integrity, they lead with pride, and they allow me to do my job as a coach. And that's hard in today's society and world. You know, it's coaching isn't the easiest job in the world. There's a lot of criticism. There's a lot of hard days, but on the hardest of days, I know I get to see these guys and not just these two, but any girl in my program, and they're gonna let a smile on my face. They're gonna do something silly.
Make me cry. You are going to make me cry.
They're gonna say something funny, and any sort of bad day or whatever happened is just like right out the window, because they're gonna do something totally like ridiculous and just like walk into my room and say, I need to fart, and do that. Like those are the things
that just happened like 45 minutes ago. That just happened.
So
it wasn't us. It wasn't us.
but it's just moments like that that I'll always forever cherish. Like the wins are great, the losses are hard, but the relationship with any of the girls that play in my program are what I remember, and I love that my daughters get to be a part of that they get to see these girls and give them high fives and give them hugs and get to be at Halloween practices with them. And they get to grow up seeing that. They get to grow up seeing what it's like to be a true friend and to be a good teammate, and have these incredible role models. So I'm incredibly privileged. Like I said, their volleyball skills speak for themselves. And they allow me to do my job, and for that I couldn't be more grateful, and for the support that their families bring. They both have incredible families who support, and they let me do my job as a coach too, and that's just something that I don't take for granted and I don't take lightly, because it's a tough world being a coach sometimes, and to get to have kids like this and families like this, it makes it worth it 100%.
It is, Coach. Thank you for those words. I know that was a little tough. It is, Coach. It's tough to be a coach with today, the criticism that coaches take. You want to coach a certain way, and then someone doesn't think that you should be coaching that way. And then here we go, right? And it's tough. And so a coach has to try to balance to get 100% from the players, and the players need to respond back, but also you got people watching you 24/7, right? And so it's tough. Kudos to you, Coach, and all the coaches, because in 2024, it's not easy like it was when I was in school in the 90s. Ladies, before we get to the second round, I do want to give you an opportunity. So there's your coach there. You can take it or not. I don't want you guys to get any more emotional than you have. But if you guys want to say anything about the coach here on the podcast so we can have it, it's up to you.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Go first.
Okay.
No, I gotta mentally prepare myself before
It's
I
fine.
speak.
I got it. Okay. Well, outside of high school, I've obviously had Chapa as a coach. I've played for Little Storm. I played Storm Nationals, and she was actually my coach my freshman year of varsity, actually, which I can remember freshman year varsity like to the T, only due to the fact that to imagine myself being able to play at such a high level my first year coming in, there were some amazing girls on that team, including Melanee, because I remember 8th grade, I was watching Melanee, and she was, setting, she was warming up, and I was like, oh my gosh. And to be able, my freshman year, to walk on that court and to experience that, it made it 10 times easier to have Chapa as my coach. Not just because, I've had her as a coach before, but she doesn't undermine the fact that I was a freshman, or she doesn't put that pressure on me. She knows what I was capable of, and she just continued to push me, but she pushes everybody as an athlete. She knows what we're capable of. When we're super tired, she does not care if we're tired. We're going to keep going. We're going
gonna finish that Louisiana drill.
We're gonna finish the drill that she wants us to finish, because she knows that we're capable of doing it. And that's one thing that I love about her as a coach, is that she holds us accountable. And with that comes like a lot of growth. And I know that I've grown so much as an athlete because of that. But not only has she grown me as an athlete, but as a person. And to be able to have her as a coach is an honor. And I think it's a privilege. And a lot of people don't see it as a privilege because she's made some really hard choices. She's had to move people around. She's had to move people up, people down. And that's just the way it is as a coach. And it's hard. It's really hard. But at the end of the day, we're here to play volleyball, and we're here to have fun, and we're here to lean on each other. And she allows us to lean on her. And not a lot of coaches can do that. A lot of coaches are straight business. And so to be able to lean on her, it's amazing. And it's really, really a privilege.
Awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, my plans are to be doing this again next year. So I know you'll be back next year. So definitely, hopefully, Coach will have you back on the podcast. But Mel, I won't be able to do this with you next year because you're going to graduate. But what's it been like? You got the coach there. You've been there 4 years. I mean, you've been there. She's watched you grow. You've watched her coach, and What's it been like? Let everyone know. And what is something when you say this, because you're the senior, right? When you say this and you talk about what coach has meant to you, if you can after that tell us what is something that you know about Coach Chapa that's good, right? And that a lot of people wouldn't know if they saw her, like me, like people that know her see her, what that because you guys know her from the as a coach, that you see her. Because I'll tell you this, if I see her, I think she's this is what I think of her, because I've only talked to her on the podcast. I think she's patient. I think she's caring. She's very passionate. I've seen videos that y'all had some kind of a dance. Y'all had something under your bellies. I don't know exactly what it was, but y'all were having some fun with some of that stuff going on. Uh, yeah, so I've seen some of that, and I've seen her daughters. Y'all gotten together, so you see that, and so you kind of get an idea of what Coach Chapa's like, right? But then her differently. So if you can tell us kind of like whatever you're going to say about Coach, but if there's something about her that maybe a lot of people don't know outside of her family.
Okay, so I've known Coach Chapa since I was, I think, 6, because I went to my first clinic at Storm when I was 6, and she put me in a libero jersey when she was able to coach me, and that was fun. And freshman year, I had a different coach, but sophomore year, Coach Chapa came, and she saw something in me, and she put me as a 6 rotation player that year. And it just goes to show that no matter how young you are, like Bella said, she was a freshman and she came in and she played. Coach Chapa, when she sees something in you, she will put her whole heart into you and dedication, and she will help you be a great player, and she will help you grow as a person and someone on the volleyball court, and help you get more respect for yourself and for others. And yeah, and one thing I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay, one thing about Coach Chapa is she has a kid side to her, and I love it. Okay, we may be practicing and maybe a serious drill, but once that water break hits, there's some kid that comes out in her, and it is amazing. Like when we were dancing, I don't know if you hear in the video, but you can hear her laughing at our dances, and we can have this like playful side with each other, and it's so fun. And the environment, she's really like a mother figure to us. Like when we're in the gym, she's really like Mama Bear, and I love it.
Wow.
And I'm just so grateful to have Coach Chapa my last 3 years. It's been amazing because she did see something in me, and she honestly developed me into the person I am today and helped a lot with that, and showed me that I can have a voice in myself and help me speak for myself. And honestly, I've grown a backbone because of her. So yeah.
Awesome. And that's important. I'm glad that you said that she letting you know, because you girls are still very young, right? And you're getting into the world, you're leaving high school, and you're getting into the world, like they say, the real world now, and it's different. And to be able to say, I know I've got a voice, that's important. You do got a voice, and make sure you voice it when you need to. That is awesome, Coach, that you're able to teach your girls that. Now we've had all this stuff down. Now let's get down to tomorrow's game, right? That's now let's get down to the serious stuff. Coach, you're taking on Calhoun. Where is that game going to take place at?
We play tomorrow at Woodsboro's high school dome gym. So they're in Woodsboro. We're going to meet at a neutral site for this game.
Coach, you played this team twice. You've talked about it's a great program. I've heard a lot of them because Rockport plays them twice. So here in Rockport, but you played them twice. You know how tough they are. What are the keys to winning? And how are the girls reacting to this? Because sometimes you play 2 teams. Sometimes girls go, "Oh man, here we go again." They've already beaten us twice. But what's been the mentality, the mindset of the girls? And for you, what are the keys to getting a victory and moving on to round number 3?
I think the biggest advantage we have is that the more times you play a team, especially when you beat them multiple times, I think you get a little bit comfortable. So I think the girls are ready to go out there, and they're hungry. Like they are truly at the point right now where they're playing for each other, and they're playing to just continue on our season. So I think that's exactly where we want to be. I think We've had some great practices. I think we're finally in a place where we know what everybody brings. And I think it's just going to take everybody just contributing in every way possible. And we have those conversations a lot prior to matches like this. Like it's win and you advance or lose and you go home. That regardless if you're playing 6 rotations, if you're coming in just to serve, if you never step foot on the court, that everybody's role is super important in these high pressure situations in high pressure games because it takes every single person that we have to contribute in whatever way possible. So I think going into the match tomorrow, the girls are excited, and I think we talk about a lot, not underestimating opponents. So I think that's our advantage is going out there, being kind of the underdog in this scenario. Port Lavaca, has had 2 wins on us. I think both of those wins for them, they were incredibly close for us, and I think we're a different point. We're a different team right now than we were when we played them, which is really good for us. So I think if the girls go out there and then they do their jobs and they play their parts and they, all the pieces of the puzzle fit together, I think, we're going to be able to continue out our season. But I think win or lose, I think we just have to go out there and play. And that's another conversation we have. Volleyball doesn't change because we're now at this high pressure situation. It doesn't change because we have an opponent that we've lost to twice. Like, you guys know how to play, you guys know how to compete, go out there and win. And I think the rivalry that we've kind of created between our 2 programs, it's going to create a fun environment tomorrow. So I think the girls are excited. They thrive in that environment. There's not that there's any hate between us, but there's just a little bit of extra tension just because we get to this point and it's every year, we're facing them. So
Past 2 years of playoffs.
Yeah, the past 2 years. So, we're going in the 3rd year, 2nd round, playing them. So obviously we want to take advantage of that and come out on top.
Very competitive, and that'll be tomorrow. So all Lady Cherokee fans there, TM, definitely take that drive to Woodsboro, cheer on the girls. They'd love to have that gym packed on our side. I know it'd mean a lot to Coach and the ladies. So if you can definitely make it out there, Coach. If you said, I apologize. What time does the game start?
6:30.
6:30 in Woodsboro. So it is a little bit of a drive, but not too far. So definitely go out. They got plenty of time to get off work and take that drive and support the Lady Cherokees. Mel and Bella, I'd like to give you guys, is there anything you want to say about the playoff game before I get Coach's final thoughts?
I'm excited. I'm really excited. And I have a lot of adrenaline. It's not the adrenaline of like I'm nervous or I'm ready. I'm ready to play them tomorrow. And I'm excited about where we are as a team, because even though like it has gotten to the end of the season district that it took us to get this point, but I've never seen us as a team play for each other the way we are playing for each other now. And it's exciting, and it's really easy to thrive off of that. It's really easy to feed off of that. And I can see us playing for each other a lot more than I've ever seen us play. And I was able to see that in GP, and I was able to see that last night. We made a mistake, we got over it. We got a good point. We were able to feed off of that. We might have dropped from 5 points that Valley View had scored on us at that point. We took that time out. We came back. We focused on fundamentals. And we totally disregarded the fact that we had just dropped 5 points, and we knew that we had to come back and we had to fight. We know that it's playoffs now and that it's going to be a dogfight. Whether the team was 4th place in their district or they're 1st, we know that it's going to be a dogfight. And it's super exciting to see how we're playing for each other, because at the end of the day, we all know we don't want it to be the last game. And tonight, anybody that decides to watch, whether that's like live or in person, you're going to be able to see that from us, because we're all excited and we're all ready to play tomorrow.
Awesome. Mel, anything you want to add?
I will say that recently we have all been playing a short-term memory game. So one mistake, we get over it and we go into the next one. We get a kill, we're celebrating like we just won the state championship. And that's how we are. People are diving on the floor, cheering for points. We're slapping the floor. And coming out tomorrow, I think we're all ready and we're going to play together and for each other, because I know for myself personally, I'm not ready to be done.
I'm not ready.
I am not ready to be done. This will not be my last game, and I am very confident, and I'm ready to play tomorrow.
Awesome. And once again, Lady Cherokee Warrior fans, TM, definitely come on out tomorrow, 6:30 game time starts. It's in Woodsboro. They'll be taking on the Calhoun Lady Sandys. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a great game. These are two great programs here in South Texas, two great volleyball programs. They've been good for quite some time. They're going to do battle. And so they're going to have their fans. We got to show up and support our Lady Cherokees. Good luck. And just know that here on the Tri Sports Network, we definitely, the GT Sports definitely are rooting for you ladies to get the W, and we move on to the third round. For all the fans too, when you see this, this is going to be shared over into. We're still working on being able to go live on the Tri Sports Network, and I'm hoping that that's going to take place before next week when they come on. But that's why you're seeing it on GT Sports. But after this, it will be uploaded to our Tribe Sports Network YouTube channel. So there is the Tribe Sports Network. That is the network where we come in, do podcasting. We talk to Loso Midway Athletics. And we're also now going to start doing the same thing for basketball, as basketball season is just around the corner. But we do have a YouTube and Twitter page. So from YouTube, definitely go down there, you subscribe to our channel. It's the Tribe Sports Network, and you can see every podcast. And on Facebook, please like and share it to your timeline, share it with a family or friend. Let's get more eyes on the programs here. Coach brings down the athletes. You guys get, you see the jersey and you see the number, and you're probably not able to talk to them if you're not family, but you can put the number to a face and hear the ladies talk here. That's why we have the podcast. Belle, Mel, thank you very much for coming on. It's been great. I know Belle will be back next year, but Mel, I'm glad you're back. We're gonna need you tomorrow. But thank you for everything you guys have done. I've been real impressed with the interviews. Just like you say, you have a lot of passion when you play volleyball. You guys come in and show a lot of passion just for an interview that's about 30 minutes. And I really appreciate that. But Coach, I'll give you the final thought. You got some great ladies here. You knew that. Now we know that. Not the surrounding areas know that. What's your final thoughts? Anything you want to add before we let y'all go?
No, thank you to all our fans who came out and supported us last night. It was super awesome to see. We had a packed house on our home side to just see the support for these girls and all the hard work that they've put in throughout this season. So we thank you guys for coming out and supporting us, and our administration, our athletic director, Coach B, Mr. Van Matry, for their constant support. We couldn't do what we do without them, and giving us this opportunity to just continue to show up. And we have a great fan base, and we just appreciate them. So I'm excited for tomorrow's match. If you want to watch some good volleyball, come out to Woodsboro at 6:30. Doors open at 6, and come watch these awesome girls compete.
Good luck, and just know here on the Tri Sports Network, GT Sports, we're definitely rooting for you. Let's go get that W.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, it's over.